Hi everybody, it's the Piggy Hub here. Finally back with a video for you. Sorry it's been quite a while, been really busy, but I thought I'd do a really good informative video for you today. I did have a request quite a while ago after my cleaning a cage with fleece video, and somebody asked if I could show you guys how I clean my cages that are on bedding. So the piggies have been on their Megazorb and hay bedding, so I'm going to clean it out. So these are the items that you're going to need. You're going to need a stack of newspaper, a dustpan and brush, so there's my funky zebra one again. You're going to need a cage cleaner. You can get these at most pet shops. I bought this one at Wilkinson's. Please make sure it is a pet spray, pet disinfectant, so please don't use any kitchen products or anything, because some of them can contain chemicals that aren't good for your piggy, so please make sure it's a pet one. So this one's from Wilkinson's, Hutch and Cage Disinfectant Cleaner. Then you're also going to need an old bit of material just to wipe up the spray, or you could use kitchen roll, but I use a bit of ripped off towel because it absorbs up all the liquid. And then you're going to need a bin bag as well. So when you've gathered all that stuff, we'll get started. So this is the cage today. As you can see, it is quite messy, so I'm going to give it a nice clean. So the first step is just to take out all of their toys, houses. So just taking out their tubes and their wooden platform. We call it their coffee table. They like to sit underneath it. Another tube. Their chews and their ball, their little chewy ball. And the hidey house. I'm just going to take that. Oh, that is a very stinky corner back there. And also going to disattach their hay rack in a moment. First of all, I'm going to grab our bin bag, place it in the centre of the cage and open it up. And we're just going to start by, where's the dustpan and brush? Here it is. Scooping up as much of the excess bedding as you can. Now it might be a little bit difficult. If it's quite wet, it might stick to the newspaper. We scoop up into the corner. Obviously the corners are going to be the worst bits, because that's where they tend to go to the toilet. So just scooping it all up. Continue to do that until the cage is completely clear. So now I've scooped up most of the excess bedding that I could. So this is the newspaper that I placed underneath the bedding. Newspaper's brilliant to pop underneath because it absorbs up most of the pee and the poops and all of that. It also is good for keeping the piggies warm as well. And it's just a good underlayer. So I'm going to wrap this up, so scooping up as much of the leftover bedding as possible, so rolling it all together. And it all should come up really in one big, ooh, here goes in one go. Scooping it all together. Ooh, you might have seen me there. So there we go. And I'm going to pop that into the bin bag. Now there could be a little bit of excess bedding left on the floor. There shouldn't be that much, but if there is, I'm just going to lift that up and take that out for a second. We're just going to brush it all into one corner. So after this, the cage should be completely clean of everything. Oh, it's a little bit stinky, so it's good to get rid of this. This is the Megazorb bedding. The piggies have been on fleece for a while, but it was just getting so smelly and I had to clean it out every couple of days and it was just not manageable at all. So switch them back onto bedding again, and they seem to like it. So scoop it all up into one corner and then brush it up. Brushing it all up and then popping it into the bin bag. And keep doing that until your cage is completely clean. And now the cage is completely clean, I'm just going to remove the hay rack. So taking these clips off, I've popped this little bit of Corex here just behind the hay rack to stop any hay falling onto the floor. So taking the Corex base away, the clips, and then the hay rack as well. Just going to remove that and pop it back in a bit. Now just going to move on to disinfecting the cage. So grab your spray and just spray it all over the base of the cage. Most importantly, really aim to get into those corners because that's where the guinea pig usually goes to pee or poop. And just let it soak in for a couple of minutes. Really important to spray your cage down with disinfectant because it stops germs and bacteria building up that can make your piggy ill. Also gives it a lovely, nice, clean, fresh smell as well. And after you've let the spray dry for a while on the base, you're just going to wipe it up with either an old piece of towel, a flannel, kitchen roll, toilet roll, a dishcloth, whatever's easiest for you. I just use a bit of old towel, but everybody's got their own different way. As I say in all my videos, I am not an expert, so I may do things a little differently to you. It's all good, everybody does. I'm just showing you the way that I do it. So give it a nice wipe, really wiping into those corners, cleaning up any stains. Coming over here into this corner. And there you go, nice and clean. Now we're going to move on to laying down the newspaper. So like I said at the beginning, newspaper is good to put underneath your bedding because it adds a little bit of absorption, a little bit of warmth, and it also stops the bedding from sticking to the Corex base as well. So lay a nice thick layer of newspaper along the base of your cage. So you probably need quite a couple of sheets, so if your parents have finished with their newspaper, go grab it before they pop it into recycling. And you can reuse it, why not? Or you can pop down to the shop, you can get old papers, you know, 20p for a whole newspaper. And one more sheet along the base by here. That was a bit smaller, so we'll get another one. Pop in the other corner. And there you go. The whole base is now completely covered with newspaper and we're ready to pop the bedding in. So this is the bedding that I'm going to be popping on the floor. I keep it in a nice airtight container to keep it nice and fresh. So this is the Megazorb. So I'll show you it a little bit closely in a minute. And there's Monty down there as well. You might just be able to see him. Hee. So just scooping the bedding now into the cage on top of the newspaper, spreading it out nice and evenly. You don't need to have a huge amount of bedding down, just so that it covers all of the floor if you can. So, as I said, smoothing it out with the back of the dustpan. Try to make sure put a bit more into the corners. Like I said, that's where they go to toilet, so they need a little bit of extra absorption over there in the corners. And just keep laying it down until the floor is completely covered. So now the floor is completely covered in bedding. This, as I said, is the Megazorb bedding. It's really good. I love it because it's lovely and soft. It's also dust extracted, and so it's really healthy for your piggies. Everybody's got different opinions, but my piggies seem to really like this bedding. And yes, that's why I use it. But it's also got a lovely smell as well. It's nice and soft. So there we go. Now what I usually tend to do on top of this bedding, I tend to just add a little bit of hay. So I'm just going to get a few clumps of hay from my box and I just tend to dot it around. I do this because the piggies like to sleep in it and it's nice and soft. And they can also have a munch as well. So I don't do too much, I just do very thin little bits here and there throughout the cage. So it just adds extra comfort and they can have some fun, they can burrow through it. Guinea pigs love to do that, they like to tunnel through things, to lie in things and to play, and so this is perfect. So adding a little bit more to the corners. And then I also add a hay rack then as well, so that I can refill the hay every day so they've got nice clean fresh hay as well, because they do tend to go to toilet on this. So don't worry, I do give them nice clean fresh hay every day as well and top it up throughout the day. So this is just for a little bit of added comfort, just to place on top of the bedding. And this cage is lovely and soft and clean, and this should now last for about 5 to 7 days. You shouldn't need to clean this out for about that amount of time, even more if you spot check it throughout the week as well. So there we go. Just going to pop their hay rack back in now, so placing the piece of Corex down the back, and then I like to clip it in place as well with these 2 clips on top so that it doesn't move. There we go. And just going to pop their hay rack back in. I filled it up with nice fresh hay, so just going to pop that in on top as well, and I'll just add a little bit of extra hay and pop it in. This is the hay that I get from my local farm shop. It's really nice, it has a lovely smell, and the piggies absolutely love it. And now we're nearly done, we just have to place all the piggies' things back in. So there's our hidey house. Just want to stress that this is not straw, this is hay. It will not poke them in the eyes, it's lovely and soft, so there is no need to worry. Just adding their tubes back in. Oh, got to put the platform back in, because Badger absolutely loves this. He loves to sleep under it, so pop that back in. And their little shoes. And I've also got to show you something new that I got them. These bowls by here, they're absolutely brilliant. Unfortunately, I was finding with the other bowls that they were tipping them up, their nuggets were going everywhere, and it wasn't very hygienic either. So I got them these bowls from Wilkinson's. Both sets of piggies have one each. So here's the bowl right here. You place this onto the bars of the cage, and then you place the bowl into the ring, and it's really sturdy. As you can see, okay, the bars are wobbling a little bit because one of my connectors has come off. There we go. So as you can see, it's very sturdy. They can stand on it, they cannot tip nuggets anyway, so that's absolutely brilliant. So loving that. I think that was from Wilkinson's. I think it was about £2.50, something like that, and I bought 2 of them, and they're great, so really pleased with that. And now that the cage is completely done, this is the completed product. It's now time to put the piggies in, so just going to grab them now. They're here in their travel case, so just going to pick them up now. That's Gibson having a bit of a squeak. So here's Gibson. Just going to pop him in. I bet you Gibson goes straight for the food. You watch. And here's Badger. There you go. Straight underneath his wooden platform. He loves that. Ah, Gibson. So these 2 are really, really great. They're getting on like a house on fire. Oh, yeah, Gibson is stopped to have some hay. Surprise, surprise. So here they are in their lovely, clean cage. And they're eating. Typical. That is why you are such a chubby little piggy, Gibson. Because you don't stop eating, do you? Aww. Oh, Gibson's just going to test out his new bowl, I think. So, as well, guys, remember to clean out the water bottles. I'm just going to do that now. Remember to clean the insides and also the inside of the mouthpiece as well. Because guinea pigs do backwash their food. So sometimes they can backwash it into their water and it can get very dirty. So remember to do that. And here's Badger having a munch. So as you can see, they're very happy. Since my last video, Badger's eye has cleared up. I remember in my last video, God, that was probably nearly a month ago now. He had a bit of a bad eye. I treated him with ivermectin and it's cleared up, so I think it was mites. So they've all been treated, so they're absolutely fine. So here they are, happy little piggies. Now I'm going to have to clean the other 2 now. They're both in their igloos at the moment having a sleep, so I think I'll leave it till later. And now that the cage is completely done, this is the completed product. It's now time to put the piggies in. So just going to grab them now. They're here in their travel case. So just going to pick them up now. That's Gibson having a bit of a squeak. So here's Gibson. Just going to pop him in. I bet you Gibson goes straight for the food. You watch. And here's Badger. There you go. Straight underneath his wooden platform. He loves that. Ah, Gibson. So these 2 are really, really great. They're getting on like a house on fire. Oh, yeah, Gibson is stopped to have some hay. Surprise, surprise. So here they are in their lovely, clean cage, and they're eating. Typical. That is why you're such a chubby little piggy, Gibson. Because you don't stop eating, do you? Aww. Oh, Gibson's just going to test out his new bowl, I think. So, as well, guys, remember to clean out the water bottles. I'm just going to do that now. Remember to clean the insides and also the inside of the mouthpiece as well. Because guinea pigs do backwash their food. So, sometimes they can backwash it into their water and it can get very dirty. So, remember to do that. And here's Badger having a munch. So as you can see, they're very happy. Since my last video, Badger's eye has cleared up. I remember in my last video, God, that was probably nearly a month ago now. He had a bit of a bad eye. I treated him with ivermectin and it's cleared up, so I think it was mites. So they've all been treated, so they're absolutely fine. So here they are, happy little piggies. Now I'm going to have to clean the other two now. They're both in their igloos at the moment having a sleep, so I think I'll leave it till later. And just to finish off this video, I thought I'd just show you Monty and Stanley. So here's Stanley just testing out his new food bowl. As I said, both pairs of pigs have one, so hopefully he'll give it a try and show you what it's all about. Monty is in the red igloo, just over here. Might not be able to see him, he's having a bit of a snooze, so we won't disturb him. Cute piggies. These two have been having some issues recently. They did have a huge fight the other night. Unfortunately, I had to separate them for the evening just to cool off. But I popped them back in the same cage the next day, and they've been fine since. It's been about 5 days now. I think they're just testing the limits a bit. I don't think there's a boss at the moment. They're still trying to work things out, but I think they got a little hormonal the other day. I think the testosterone was flowing a bit. And they had a big fight. I was really concerned. I thought I'd have to split them up forever. But they've calmed down now and they're absolutely fine again. They're very strange. They have a love-hate relationship, I think. Most of the time they get on, but when they have a fight, they go all out. And it's not very nice. Stanley would just not leave Monty alone. Monty was trying to sleep, like he's doing right now in the igloo. And Stanley would just not leave him alone. He kept going in and attacking him. He was rumbling on him, mounting him, biting him. He just wouldn't leave him alone, and Monty was just trying to sleep. So in the end, I had to separate them because Monty was getting really, really distressed. So, but it's been absolutely fine since, so really happy about that. So from all of us here at the Piggy Hub, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any requests, please leave them in the comment box, and please subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.